Hi everyone, let me introduce you to Jarvis. Jarvis is a platform where you and your AI team can get the job done. So let's see how easy it is to get started. I will copy the install command and I will run it in my terminal. What this will do, it will clone the open source GitHub repository and ask me a few questions regarding the install. I will do this as a local install, so the idea will be to show us as easy as possible. And the first thing is whether we want local install with no out and using SQLite, so I will go with that option, and I will just need to enter my open API key. After this, all the migrations are done and the project is started. When we locally install, there is no install screen, and directly we are presented with we are logged in as an admin, since this will run locally. And we can see that we have already one company. We have companies because this can be developed further into SaaS platform, so probably that will be in another video. But here in companies you can see the list of companies. By default we have one admin and one company that can manage multiple organizations later on. If we go to settings, we briefly had the AI setup, branding things and things like that. Now in marketplace you can see that we already have installed few plugins, or like Jarvis, Composio, Slack, WhatsApp, and Daniel. I will go shortly over them. So Jarvis is the central place. This is the main agent that directly communicates with you. Then we have Daniel, which is the vibe coder. So we have a agent that you can assign tasks to them for coding, and he will rebuild the complete solution just for you or forever what you want. Then we have the Composio platform, which enables you to connect to 1000 apps and more. So we can have Jarvis integrate with all of those things. Then we have Slack and WhatsApp, so we can communicate with Jarvis via Slack and WhatsApp. Then we have a group of agents, like the blog posting writing team. In each team we have a main agent, in this case is Captain America, and below him he has Loki and Wanda. Wanda is the designer, Loki is the writer, Captain America is the controller. We have Reddit Grow team, and this is Fury. Under him we have Hoki and Maria. The organization is done like this, so it's easy to remember and see how later on how things will work, but with time there will be more agents, more teams, and you or our marketplace can bring you different agents, so you can we can plug different plugins inside the system. Then we have we'll go back to companies and we'll log in as our first company. This is the admin settings. Here we can see that we have WhatsApp setting, Composio settings, and we don't need to fill them right now, just for this demo. So I will log in as the company, and here in settings I will just upload my logo and change my company name. As soon as I have that, I can have multiple organizations, so this is one company, but I can add more organization if I want. For now this is okay, and let's go first to the agents. So as you saw before, there is Jarvis, there is Daniel, this is the name of the agent. So let's see, this is organization chart. So at the top, that's us, the local user, which is human, and what this is represented here, since agents can assign tasks to us, so if we need to review them. Then we have Jarvis, which is the main agent and the main agent orchestration agent. He has different settings. For example, we can modify his soul, the rules. Then he can add different side menus on the left side. As I told you before, this can be turned into a SaaS, so this is really helpful for that. Later on we'll have multiple agents. Different settings for the Zen and regarding notifications. If we go back to agents, each of the agent can have his own workspace. In case of Jarvis, this is the workspace where we can see all the tasks that are between us and Jarvis, and later on the agent that we will install. This is the how to call the workspace, and each of the agents can have different integrations. For Jarvis, we have Composio, which can connect to 1000 apps and more. We can pass data to Jarvis via webhook. We can send messages to Jarvis via Slack, and we can also write to Jarvis via WhatsApp. I will not spend time here and go back to agents. Jarvis is a special agent, and one of his capabilities is to run scheduled tasks. So later on we can say every day at 9 run this task, and it's there. Every agent besides Daniel will have this plus button, and when we call this action, in fact we are creating new agents. So the system can create new agents based on our needs. So we can describe what this agent is. Does he need the workspace? Does this agent has some specific settings, and so on. So later in other videos we will present how this works. When this task is created, so this creates an agent, but in fact this gives a task to Daniel to code a new agent that will be a sub agent below Jarvis, and later on each of those agents, so we'll have like a tree of agents that can work with each other and doing different works, getting different work done. Then if we go back to agent, we can see that Daniel is a special kind of agent that doesn't have anything. He's the coder, so we have three roles here. So the local user, then the Jarvis, which is the orchestrator and will do all the things, so we're communicating with him. And then we have Daniel, which is a special vibe code agent that can modify our system to the way we need it without touching any code. So let's go to the Zen. So Zen is the central place where we communicate with Jarvis, but we can also communicate with him, as I said, with WhatsApp or Slack. So whatever is best for you, you can communicate with that channel, and you never have to come to this interface to write to our agent or do some things. So let's get a brief information of what this Jarvis is doing. So let's say hi there. Hey, I'm Jarvis. What do you want to do right now? Plan something, knock out a task, or check what's already in motion. So Jarvis is already a capable agent, so I can say to him every time address me so I don't have to be exactly correct, but he needs to understand. So let's see, he's calling the update rule tool, and understood, Mr. Daniel. I will address you as Mr. Daniel in every response from now on. Okay, Jarvis, what agents work for you or under your command? And let's see, Mr. Daniel, I don't have okay, but yeah, he understands that he's the agent that does the orchestration, and there is Daniel, which is the coding agent, the vibe coder that will do the job that needs to be done. So with this demo, we briefly show how the structure is done, how you can start with the basics, how the install is done, and later on in further videos we will do some really interesting things where we can connect Jarvis to 1000 applications and see how Jarvis can take actions on our behalf. And also we will, in other videos, we will look how we can install existing teams of agents that will do different things. And remember that, yeah, in this demo we saw how we were able to update the memory of the agent, so every time he knows how he needs to address to us. So this he has different tools or actions that he can take to update his memory, and in fact be a really capable agent both for us and for our business, because each of these organization can be different businesses that we operate or some personal things that we want to automate or operate. So yeah, hope this video brings a bit of light to what Jarvis is, and this is just a glimpse of what Jarvis is capable of. Please look into the next videos and see what's possible with Jarvis. Yeah, hope you like it. Bye bye.